Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly webinar. So today's topic is a very exciting one for many of you who've been working and asking questions. How do you do the rental reservations or rental unit reservations in RigER? Let me move into the next slide, and we'll just do a bit of an overview of who we are and what we do. So this is me and myself. My name is Nikolai, and I'm going to be hosting today's webinars. So you can definitely join us in any social media channel and stay up to date on what's going on at RigER. There's been a lot going on, but social media channels of ours are being filled with useful information as well as very entertaining images, as well as useful images as well. So please do follow us on any social media. So today's agenda. Among the people who are going to be talking about this new and exciting feature of the reservation in RigER will be Michael, whom you know, many of you do, through the social media channels and maybe personal interactions if you're a customer of ours. You also know Indre well, because if you are a customer, you do know that person. So these are the people that are going to be talking today about how to do the reservations, what the reservation looks like actually in a live demo in the database. You will also be able to understand what a backup of a rental unit is and how that works in RigER. So if you are new, and some of you may be new to RigER, I see some new faces indeed. So I appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about what our company and the product is. So RigER is a flagship product of BelcaSoft Corporation. So it's a large company that operates out of Calgary, Alberta, and it's a growing company as well. And our main focus areas for the product development are the paperless enterprise is what we stand by and what we push forward to ensure that the oilfield services and rental business is actually implementing this latest and newest technology. We also focus on the custom solutions. And again, we understand that everybody is different a little bit in how they do the operations. So that's why we do customization and the configuration of the system. Integrations is another pillar on which we base our business. And it's an important one because we live in a world where integrating software with different systems is very important and useful for our clients. So we do promote and actually work on new integrations on an ongoing basis. So what is RigER and what is the RigER product family? So we've come up with a simple way of showing actually what RigER does. So just never mind the right-hand side. It will be a little bit hard to read, but those of you who are interested, just show me a show of hands or send me an email and I'll be able to share that presentation with you or specifically explain you what RigER family product is made of. But generally speaking, RigER is a cloud solution that enables access to the database with all information about your operational needs and processes through iComputer. But it is also supported through a mobile application suite. So we have the applications that support a number of activities from the sales to the operations to the field technicians and the purchasing. So you can use the connection between the cloud and the office through the cloud, people in the office and in the field using the mobile applications. We can also feature and show you and demonstrate that RigER has a number of industry applications. So RigER has a downhole tools solution specifically designed for the companies that do the downhole tools rentals and services. But among other applications, RigER is a flexible solution, so there's other applications as well. So we can show you how RigER actually can manage rentals of different kinds of equipment from surface, of different kinds, to the downhole, to different models, the business models, including the rental equipment distribution model that RigER can implement. Well, here is a picture that is worth a million words. And we wanted to share with you an exciting news that this month we've moved to a new corporate office here in Calgary, where we're based out of. So here's the cake. Some of you who have joined us for the celebration have actually tasted it. And this is the picture of the people and the families that stand behind the strong brand of RigER and our new corporate boardroom right there with the flag on the right hand side. So you're welcome to join us anytime in the room for the cake whenever you're available. So what is RigER and where the operations of RigER actually are being done. So RigER is a North American company, but we're expanding significantly in some other parts of the world. However, right now our operational map looks as follows. So we have servers distributed throughout different parts of North America, Canada, and the United States. We have an office, the main office in Calgary. We have a sales office in Houston. We have a support desk that operates out of, actually covers the area of the Middle East and Europe in Dublin. So we have development in Ukraine. So we're truly a global company that is at your disposal to manage your oilfield rentals and services needs. Some of the companies that use successfully RigER, since we've established our business, and again, it's only some of the companies, are presented on this slide. Many of you may recognize your logos, or some of you may recognize logos of the companies that you've been working with. And on the right-hand side, you can see what kind of equipment these and other companies are using or are using in their business, and they're using RigER to track those kinds of equipment. And now, without further ado, I wanted to introduce Michael and hand the microphone over to him to start the conversation on the exciting topic of the rental equipment reservations. Go ahead, Michael.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RigER webinar number 45. Today, we will talk about rental equipment reservations, and we will talk about the different types of reservations. And first one, it will be a standard pre-job reservation of the rental units. Usually, with the company use a reservation when you have a big fleet with identical items, and you need to be sure that all the quantity will be delivered to the client on time without any delays, and equipment should be tested before the job. So all the tested equipment can be put to the site or a specific yard section, and prepared for a particular job. Moreover, the goal that the reservation, the unit which under reserve, should use only for that job, not use for any other job. So you, when you reserve the item, you know that you will have enough quantity, and nobody will steal the the unit for another job. So how the reservation process looks like. So we have a special document, reservation note, which move rental unit status from ready to rent to reserve. And after that, then we need to move it to the location. Then we do a rental ticket delivery, where it could be deployed, or if there is any delays or installation or difference between the move of the shipment or delivery date and deployed date, then we can have a status racked. And another way, because sometimes you can face the situation when you need unreserved unit, so you can do their second reservation note and unreserved unit based on that. So let me show you one reservation scenario example, which can be in place, and which we replicate in RigER in a second. So say, for example, we have a client order for 10 units for a particular location, and we start preparing this job and start reserve this. So the day two, we adding the 2 units for reserve. The day 3, we add one more time, 3 units to the reserve. So totally we have 10 units request and 6 units reserved for this request. Then we can have, that can happen, that we can deliver 2 units from our rental fleet without reservation. So directly send the units to the field. And in this case, we have 10 units order, 6 units in reserve, and 2 units in the field. So in this particular situation, we need to reserve 2 more units, not 4 more units. And this is a calculations which the system will done automatically. Another complexity which can happen in real life, the client can reduce the order to 7. So in this case, we have over reserve 1 unit, and the manager needs to reduce the reserve to the 1 unit, entering a new document. And after that, we can ship and deliver those 5 units and start the rental job with the entire 7 units which client ordered. So let me show you how it works in RigER, and Indra will help us to present this in the system.
Hello everyone. Let me show you how to reserve rental units in RigER and what is the workflow for this reservation procedure. So let's imagine that client requested 10 250 kilowatt generators to be delivered for the job in a week. So as all jobs, we started from creating a new RSA. I have already created an RSA in database, so we add all the details about the clients and selecting the rental units for the job. So I selected generators 250 kilowatts, and client requested 10 generators, so I added quantity of 10 and the price, rental price per day. So we checked our shop and we see that at the moment we have only 3 available generators for today. So we decided to reserve these generators for the job. To reserve the rental unit, we going to RSA, click generate, and selecting reservation note. A new reservation note document is created, so all the details about client and RSA are taken directly from RSA. So we selecting the shop where these generators are located at the moment, and then we select how many of them we want to reserve and selecting the unit numbers. So let's select the first 3 generators from the list, click OK, and let's click post and close. So 3 generators are already reserved for this job. If you would go to rental service journal, you can see a green arrow in the front of this RSA. That means that some rental units are reserved for this job already. So let's say that next day we got 3 more generators available in our shop and we decided to reserve them too to this job. So let's generate a second reservation note for the next day. So let's select the fifth date, let's select our shop, then the quantity of generators, and let's select unit numbers. Okay, let's click OK, post and closed. So now we have 6 in total reserved generators for this job. We can check it if we click reserves button, and we can see, let's select the correct date of this report. So we can see that for the 5th of December, we have 6 in total generators reserved for the job. So in RSA, client requested 10 of them. We have reserved 4 and we are still missing, we have reserved 6 and we are still missing 4. So let's see, the day passed and we got 2 more generators available in our shop, and we decided them to deliver directly to the client, not to reserve, but just deliver directly to the client. So we are going back to an RSA and we will be generating a rental ticket delivery. Click generate button, select the rental ticket option. So now all the details are coming about the client from RSA, the shop. If it's a different shop, we can select a different one. We select a field technician who will be delivering these generators, and we are selecting the quantity. Okay, this time quantity 2, and we select unit number. So if we click here, we get a list of available unit numbers in the shop at the moment, which are not reserved. So let's select 2 of them. Okay. And let's post this ticket and we can close it. So if we go back to a reservation report, select the correct date, we can see that now we have 10 requested from the client, 20 generators, 2 are already delivered to the client's location, 6 are reserved for this job, and we are still missing 2. And let's say today we got a call from a client, and the client requested to reduce the quantity of generators up to 7 generators. So they don't need 10 anymore. They asked to reduce it to the quantity of 7. And we see that, okay, we have 2 in field and we have 6 reserved. So in total, 8 generators. That means we have 1 generator what we don't need for this job. In this case, we can unreserve this generator. So we're going back to RSA and we're going to generate a reservation node. Just this time we change the type. It's not reserved, it's unreserved. Okay, let's click yes. We select the shop and let's change to the correct date. So now we are adding an item and we need to unreserve 1. So let's select the units. So we have 6 generators units available for selection. So all these are 6 what we reserved for this job. You just select which one we want release from this job and unreserve. Click OK. Let's post and close. So now if we go back to the reservation report, let's change to the date and we can see it. Okay, we have 2 in field, we have 5 reserved, but we see that there are still in RSA 10. So we are going back and we just update our RSA because client asked to reduce the quantity of these generators for the job. Let's post it, going back to reservation now, let's generate, and now we see that, okay, the client requested 7 generators, we have 2 delivered in the field and 5 reserved, so we are not missing anymore. We need to deliver what's reserved at the moment to the client's location and start the job. So we are going back to RSA, click generate rental ticket. So when you generate a second rental ticket in RSA, by default is type return. So we just change to a delivery one. Let's select the correct date. Let's say 9. Okay. And now to use the reserved units, we need just to click use reserve button, and system will automatically add all the reserved generators for this job, all the reserved rental units, not only generators. If you would have reserved like different types of generators or different kinds of rental units, system will add it automatically here. So you need just to click a button, system adds everything, and let's select the field technician and just post and close rental ticket. So now if we would go back to reservation report and check this report, we see that there's nothing left as reserved for this client. So that means everything was delivered and we can start a job. So this is just one of the possible situations in the company daily routine, and you can reserve rental units for the job. So if unit becomes not needed, you can unreserve them and release to be available for the next job.
Good, thank you, Indra. Was good, and let's come to the first Q&A session. Nikolai, do we have any question?
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, Indra, and thank you, Michael. Indeed, we have a couple of questions that have come in, and so the first question is from Jill. The question is it possible to see all reserved items in one spreadsheet or in one view, one table?
Let me take this question.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
thank
sure.
you. Yes, as you saw in my demo, you can use the same report, just don't put any filters, and this report will show, the reservation report will show all the rental units which are reserved in the system. So you can use the same report and see everything in one place for all the jobs, for all the clients.
Yeah, and another way how you can see all the reserved units, you can go to the homepage, rental unit dashboard, and you'll see the number of units reserved for each rental unit type.
And one more just addition from the same Jill, just to confirm. So are you reserving items by unit number or by type?
By unit number.
Okay, I hope that answers the question, Jill. So the next question is from Alex. Can I reserve units for other jobs? Or reserved units for other jobs?
No, this is the whole point, to save units for a particular job and assign units to the particular location. And no, it's absolutely not possible. So you do not see all those units as available for the other jobs, only for that particular job. That's the whole idea about the reservation.
Perfect. Thank you. I hope that helps. Another question is actually from John. And the question is, how many people can do the reservation in the system, or how can one get access to it?
Absolutely great question. So we have several user roles. Again, the user role means that you can assign this role to the particular user, and you will define who can do that and how many users can do that. And the reservation is a function of the operation manager in the system. And the only operation manager can reserve the items. So say, for example, sales can see the reserves, but couldn't do that. But the operation guys can reserve, unreserved item, assign a particular unit for a particular job, so manage the fleet.
So in other words, anybody and everybody should be communicating to the operations about the reservations and the status of the equipment, which is the right way to do things.
Absolutely. And again, it depends on the organization structure and how you assign roles. You can assign the reservation for, say, for example, for the 5 days for this particular person, for next week for another person. It's totally up to system admin.
Okay, perfect. I think I've got all the questions for now. Let's just keep going.
Okay, let's move forward. And the next question is backups of the rental equipment. And this topic is similar with we just discussed, but the difference between backups and reservations, that reservation we use before the job, backups we use during the job. So the whole idea about the backup settings, that you back up, like assign a particular unit in your yard, that those are backup units to support the current operations. Say, for example, you have the service area with 25 running units, 25 units at the client's location running day and night constantly, and to guarantee the operations, like a smooth operations, you need to have at least 2 units in your shop for the backups. And that kind of feature we use, and it's pretty much the same idea. So when you decided that this unit is ready to go, it's technically tested, everything is right, and you assign this unit to the specific section of your yard for the backups. And so we run a backup reserve document, and this unit become available for only for the existing jobs. So you couldn't use backup units for new jobs, but only for the swap operations you can use those units. And again, if you need to use them for the new jobs, you can unreserve backup unit and just do a normal rental ticket delivery or whatever process you choose. So let us show you the backup operations, and I asked Indra to show us in RigER again and do the demo.
Let me show you how to backup reservation procedure works in RigER. For example, you have 83 units of 100 kilowatt generators in your inventory, and you would like to keep 5 of them as a backup. So you need to move these 5 units to backup in RigER. To move units to the backup, let's go to Oilfield Rentals, select backup nodes, and then we are creating a new backup node document. Here you need to select the correct date of the document. Let's say the 1st of December. Let's select a shop in which these units, this equipment is stored, and where the backups we will store. So let's add an item, the quantity, and then let's select unit numbers which we will use as a backup. Okay, let's add 5 units, click OK, and let's post and close. So now 5 units of these generators are moved as a backup in our shop. So now, for example, if any of these 100 kilowatt generators gets broken on client's location and you need to swap them to with not broken ones, then you can use for swapping which are stored as a backup on your shop. So, for example, we have a running job on client's location and we need to swap a broken equipment. So we're going to RSA and we are generating a rental ticket. So let's select rental ticket and we change the type to service to swap the units. Then let's go to rental units type. So we are delivering a new generator 100 kilowatt and the quantity is 1 and selecting the unit number. So in the list of unit numbers, you can see there is a B in the front of unit number's name. So that means that this unit is a backup in our shop. So we can select it for swapping. Click OK. And let's add a second line for returning a broken equipment. Let's select the item, quantity, and the unit which we are returning. So let's add field technician. Let's check the date. Everything is okay. So let's post and close. Okay, so we swapped broken unit on client's location with the one which are stored as a backup. In case if you need to unreserve units from backup, so you are going back to backup nodes and you can click generate a new backup node. Let's select a shop and then let's select a correct date for the document from when you want to unreserve this rental units. And then we just change the type of backup node document to unreserve. And system automatically adds all the units, rental units and units which are stored as backups on our shop. So we can remove what we don't need and just leave generators. And then, for example, we want to reserve only 1. So let's change the quantity to 1 and let's just leave the 1 unit which we unreserved from backups. Click OK and post and closed. So this is the procedure how you can reserve backups on your inventory and how you can use them to swap broken units on client's location, and if you need, how to unreserve from backups the unit numbers.
Thank you, Indra. And so it looks like we have a second Q&A session. This is probably everything which we would like to show you today. So if you have any questions, feel free. So we will answer them.
Well, yeah, one of the questions, are you getting a new microphone? I guess no. It was a my question.
Okay.
So here's the real question. From John, can we set up automatic backup on their units?
Oh, good question. So actually not. The reason is not a software or my understanding that it could be more technical limitations and organizational limitations. So if we will back up units automatically, we'd like to be sure that this unit is ready to go. So tested. Theoretically, we can do that, but from practical standpoint and working with the client, I see that usually it will require a user interference, so it's just entering things.
Yeah, it does make sense simply because, I mean, a machine can book it up automatically, but then in the end, it's the person who decides what needs to be picked up or reserved. If
Absolutely.
What not.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so the one more question that I've got, I think, so far is from Nick, and the question is, can RigER has backup quantity for each unit type?
Yes. So say, for example, you have 200 kilowatt generators, you have to have 2 units as a backup. So that kind of table, not so far, not so far. We're not that advanced so far. Usually the operation manager decided how many units needs to be backup for a number of units running in the area. So it's totally up to the management, operation management decision. So they will decide, because again, my understanding it will be it will depend on the type of the equipment running, manufacturer, the maintenance cycles, any other conditions. So, say for example, for that manufacturer, we highly likely need to back up twice more than we do for other manufacturer. That could be a decision for the operation manager.
Yeah, I guess again we're putting it all back into the hands of the operations, because system can be set up in many ways, but in the end it has to work for the people, so and for the processes.
Sure.
Okay, great. I think it's been an interesting topic. I definitely see there's an interest from the people through the questions. I don't have any more questions, but what I wanted to say once more again is at every other webinar of ours, we're available and accessible. Send us an email, or you can communicate to us even through, if you're not a client of ours yet, through any social media channels. If you're a client, we're just a phone call away. This new feature is for the reservation process is now becoming available, and it may not be enabled in every database. So if something that is you're looking at implementing for you or taking advantage of using, yeah, feel free to reach out to us. I mean, the simplest way is just to send an email to the support@rigor.ca, and we will direct you to the right person to talk to, or just gonna phone us up, because we know if you're a client, yeah, we are expecting a call from you anytime, simply because we wanted to hear from you. So like I said, it's been a pleasure. I don't have any more questions. If there are questions, feel free to them over email, like I said, and we'll be able to answer them at any time.
And I'd like to invite everyone to our next webinar next week, same time, and we will talk about how to start rental business. And this probably will be the last webinar this year. So yeah, be sure that you register and book your seat. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic rest of the week.
Perfect. Thank you very much again.